Hey Gabe. Hey Phoenix. Hola. What y'all doing? I know I'm a little later than normal today. Hey Sundrop. I'm a little later than normal today, but I'm here. Y'all. Hey Demona. I hadn't worked out in so long that after I did that little workout today and did a few things in the house, I was super tired. Hey KK. Kay says she can't stay. She just dropping in to say hi. Well, I'm glad you dropped in and say hi, girl. Let me put the um how do I do it, y'all? Is that it? No. There you go. Um I put the link if anyone wants to join. If anybody wants to come on. So we're gonna just get on into it. So Miss Kim Kardashian decided to wear Marilyn Monroe's iconic dress to the Met Gala. This is, I guess, what started this whole thing. So the iconic dress that Marilyn Monroe wore when she sang Happy Best Birthday, Mr. President. And, that was when Marilyn Monroe was in her heyday and everybody was loving her and thought she was beautiful and everything. So Miss Kim Kardashian got the dress out of the museum or wherever the dress was being held and decided she wanted to wear it to the Met Gala. The dress did not fit her, but we didn't know that because she had on a fur coat, which was hiding the part on the back of the dress that didn't fit. Kim was bigger than Marilyn on the bottom, so the bottom part of the dress didn't fit her, but she wore it anyway. And also, whoever I guess was in charge of me, I don't know, maybe Kim bought the dress. I'm not really sure about that part because I didn't look up the article, but she did receive a lock of Marilyn's hair. So I guess someone had a lock of Marilyn's hair saved in a container, and that was also given to Kim Kardashian. And when she was presented with Marilyn's hair, she said, "Ha, I could do some voodoo shit with this." And then she, I guess, caught herself and was like, "Oh, we can clone her." But the voodoo shit had already came out her mouth. People already heard it. Let me see if I can find it on because of course the shade room. The shade room has it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, if the internet goes out, the internet is tripping. The Montoria said the Guinness Book of World Record gave it to her, so that's how she got it. Hold on, y'all, because I want you to be able to hear what she said when she received it, which was weird. for her to say something like that, even to me, even as a joke, because I know people, say things that they think are funny, but I didn't, so much find humor in, oh, like that wouldn't have been the my first thought if I had received something like that. To my first thought going to Voodoo, doing some voodoo shit, as she said. I don't think that would have been my first thought. And if it was, I would have had the intelligence not to say it out loud. That would have been a conversation that I had between, I can't find it on the shade room, but that was where I saw it. And I'm pretty sure if you guys look for it, you'll be able to find it. Um, if that was my first thought, that would have been a conversation that I would have had with with people behind closed doors, not where it was being filmed. I just wouldn't have said it then. That to me wouldn't have been the time to say that. But I don't think any time is appropriate for someone to say that unless that's what you're doing. Kim Kardashian. Phoenix said, I think they do Armenian magic. I'm not sure what Armenian magic is. Is there such thing? I thought they were Christian. You know what I mean? I thought that Armenians were, because don't they roots go back to Christ? Wasn't Jesus part of his family? Don't those roots go back to, oh, that's about the sex tape. We don't even want to go there. And it seems like her and Ray J are having some issues to the point where Ray J finally came out and admitted, oh, here it is. Ray J finally came out and admitted that the whole sex tape thing was planned. That's who you're doing business with, right? So what is this? That is Marilyn's hair. So, so. You can clone her. So, that's awesome. Oh my god, I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo and I channel her. I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo. They blacked out shit and channel her. Why would she say that? Why would she say that? Now, all of the, people have always said that the Kardashians are doing, they're doing their own stuff for them to stay relevant. They out here doing this and doing that. And, I was like, I don't think so at first. I was like, no, I think they just rich people that for whatever reason have been able to stay on top. Like they know people that know people and they in the loop and they've stayed on top. But are they? And now that Ray J has come out and said that this whole thing was planned, the sex tape, the releasing of the sex tape, I guess is there are more sex tapes that they didn't release. So they did a whole lot of taping in hopes that it would make them some money. And it did. And now that I guess in because I don't watch the show at all. I stopped watching them years ago. So I guess in the latest episode of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they've been kind of, sneak dissing Ray J and talking about him bad. And he is coming out saying, hold on, we all knew what this was. And we all agreed to a certain thing. And now you're doing something different. And I need y'all to stop. So all of this, the sex tape part, all of that was planned. All of that part was planned for that to come out and for them to make money off of it. They say Kim has the right DNA to be a witch. What DNA is that? What DNA is that? I don't know. I didn't know that witches have a certain DNA. Chris has a whole candle magic infomercial. Really? Where is that? I've never seen that. I never seen that. Where is that? Now is she just selling candles or she legit said that these candles are no. Or did she say that these candles are supposed to be used for magic? Because I know how people have a tendency to look at something and assume it to be this, but that ain't what it's supposed to be. So is it that specifically, or it look like that? Because that's two different things. I'll find it in okay. Wicks of Wisdom. That's the name of it? Yeah, I didn't even remember that. Yeah, I remember watching it when I was a little girl. It used to come on late at night, going into the early morning. Wow. I gotta find that. Keisha Keisha said they doing something. Keisha said, I don't care for them. It's not that I don't care for them. I just don't care to watch them because they don't offer me anything. I try to really hold on to the mindset that just because someone, just like the Real Housewives franchise, those shows don't offer me anything. It's not that I don't care for the people, I just don't care for what they're doing because I don't know them personally. All I know is what the editors and producers and stuff want us to see. We see a storyline, and people get caught up so much in these reality shows and these storylines like we really know these people. No, you know what is edited. You know what you see. You know what the producers want you to see. You don't know those people. So I never say I don't like, them. I don't know them. I know what the media portrays them to be. Kim Kardashian and her sisters and her mama, they could be the nicest people in the world. They could be the sweetest people, but they out here making money. The media has portrayed them a certain way. The show has portrayed them a certain way. Obviously, the way that the show has portrayed them has made them millions of dollars. So it's working. You don't fix things that's not broke. If it's working for them, It's making their money. It's making are they under Bravo? I don't know who they under now, but it's making them money. It's making the show money. Everybody making money. They gonna do it. Y'all watch somebody watching because if no one was watching, if everybody hated them in E Network, thank you. If everybody hated them, no one will watch. They wouldn't make any money. So somebody is watching. And some people like to watch train wrecks. Some people like to watch things just to hate on them. Or that just makes me hate them even more. But you're sitting there consuming the content. If it's not my cup of tea, I'm not going to watch. So I don't watch them. They're not my cup of tea. But if I see something on like the Shade Room or Daily Mail, or if it comes up on Instagram or somebody is talking about it, I'll be like, oh, okay, this is going on. But for me, watching the show, finding out where they are and all that kind of stuff, it's a hell no for me. But let me go back to my point. But it's not that I don't like them as a family. I just don't like the whole concept of the show. Kim could be a sweet person, but Kim is out here making money. Her whole thing is to make money. Her it's not about you liking her. It's about her making money. It's about, them selling products. It's about them getting sponsors and all of this kind of stuff and keeping their money up so they can live the life that they are accustomed to. And not only do they want to to for them to live that life, they want their children to live that life also. And I don't blame them for that. I really don't. I'm not hating on them for making money. I'm not hating on them for being rich. I don't blame them. Because don't nobody out here want to be poor. And if wearing tight clothes, if that's your thing, if that's you, do you. So why they on Disney Plus? I didn't know they were on Disney Plus. But hey, Moth Mama! Oh my goodness, y'all give Moth Mama a round of applause, honey. We ain't seen her in a minute, and she has graced us with her presence. Moth Mama, you have been missed. I didn't know they were on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus is not just for children. Disney Plus, don't they have all the Marvel movies and all kind of stuff on there? Disney Plus is not just for kids. Because all the Marvel movies are not just for children. So Disney Plus is, out here making money just like everybody else. Girl, we have missed you. You've been so busy. You tried to message me on Instagram. It didn't go through. Because, I be on Instagram, girl. I'll be there. So MJ Recky Riot said it's so disrespectful to Voodoo and Hoodoo. I don't think that she practices either of those traditions. I really don't. So I wouldn't say it's disrespectful to a tradition that I don't think she practices. I really think she thought that was funny. Because it's the whole having someone's hair. Oh, I can do, I really think she thought she was being funny, but it just wasn't funny. And I just don't understand, for one, why they would even give it to her. If they had it, if the Guinness Book of World Records was holding her hair or had, I don't know if a lock of her hair went with the dress or, what was that? Like, why did they even have it? If it yeah, I think she was just trying to be funny. Um if Why did they have her hair? Is what I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, who had it? Why did they have it? Why was it given to them? Why was that not, or did her family donate a lock of her hair for the museum or the Guinness Book of World Records or whatever? And if it was donated by her family to a specific organization, the organization shouldn't have then in turn turned around and gave it to Kim Kardashian and her family. Unless it went with the dress. Maybe a lock of her hair and that dress was together. But it just doesn't make any sense. Gizmo, you okay, sweetheart? Them dogs ain't calling you. Lord have mercy. It's it's disrespectful to label it crazy considering it's an African traditional system. But at this point, well, hoodoo is not completely African. Hoodoo is not African. There are lots of Hispanics and white and all different nationalities that practice hoodoo. Now, and voodoo, a lot of these traditions now are accepting white people. And Kim and her family do not consider themselves Caucasian. They legit consider themselves Armenian. I know Kim does because she has said, "You're not going outside. Go sit down. Go. They're not calling you. And if they want to talk to you, they need to call you on the phone. You're not going outside. You just went outside not too long ago and you just hear them dogs barking and you want to go out there and see what they're doing, but they didn't call you. And if they need to talk to you, they can call you on the phone." Okay. Thank you. Um, she probably did exactly what she said she would do with it in a ritual. DNA is in hair strands. I don't think she did. I think she just thought she was being funny. Well, hoodoo stems out of African traditions, but hoodoo supposedly really got started in like Louisiana and down south. That was where hoodoo kind of comes out of the not wanting to do things traditionally, not wanting to be initiated, because the real African traditions, you have to be initiated into those religions. And hoodoo was kind of born because a lot of the people didn't want to go the traditional route. Hoodoo is more lax, where you can learn things and do things on your own. You don't have to have godparents. You don't have to have a babalao. You don't have to have an oba. Hoodoo is things that you can basically study. A lot of people study books and learn things on their own, a tradition passed down from maybe your grandmother, your auntie, or somebody for you to practice hoodoo. But voodoo and voodoo, those are totally different practices. Like Santeria and Ifa, totally different. The way it's practiced is different. The initiations are different. There is no initiation into hoodoo. Hoodoo is kind of, oh, do it this way. Oh, yeah, girl, you could do this way, or you could do this. There's no elekes in hoodoo. There is no ide. There's nothing. There's no feathers in the hair. There's nothing to basically. You can't look at a person and tell they practice hoodoo. But Santeria and Ifa, if you know the tradition, okay, that's a person that practiced. Hold on for a minute. Let me show you. You see this, you automatically know that is somebody that practice. They are going to have on the colors of the Orisha. Automatically, you will key in, even if the person is not wearing them out, because most people don't wear them out in the open, but you can still see them. I have seen people on TV when I was watching Black Ink Crew, New York, Caesar, like one of the first episodes. I was like, hold on a minute. It's see, because he, like turned his head like this, and I was like, that boy got on the leggings. And later on in the season, he was like, oh, my godmother this, my godmother that. And I was like, okay, I see you. So you can tell. Now, hoodoo is something totally different. There are no outward markings of hoodoo. You don't know who doing hoodoo. But voodoo, there's going to be something to let you know that, yeah, that, okay, yeah, that's her right there. So hoodoo is totally different. There are a lot of, I'm just speaking of the traditions that most people know. There are a lot of traditional African religions. There are so many different tribes that practice different religions. I'm just speaking on the ones that people have normally heard of. Yeah, there's so many different religions like we would never know. But the ones that people, really practice, Lukumi, Santeria, Ifa, those are the most popular here in the States. Of course, not the most popular in Yoruba land or in Nigeria. They're doing a lot, and they're doing things totally different there than the way we do it here. Like I've talked to people from Nigeria, they don't wear alekes. All this is, they consider this just, that's what y'all do in the States. Y'all doing too much. Y'all Americans, y'all do that. A lot of them don't. Now some of them do, but a lot of them, don't wear the colors of the Orisha because they don't feel like they have to. They know that people know who they are. Like they know you're a chief, they know you're a priest. You know what I mean? Because everybody in your tribe already knows you, so you don't have to represent who you are. Here in America, we're not in tribes. People don't know us. So when we go places, we show, who we are, just like gangs show their colors to show affiliation. When they go outside of their area or even in their area, they're wearing the colors so that people know who they are. And it's kind of like the same thing. I've seen those kind of necklaces in a beauty store and stuff. I've never seen them in a beauty supply. Now I've seen them in, botanicas and stores like that, but I've never seen any in a beauty supply. Where do you live? In New York or something? Because I've never seen any in a beauty supply. I don't know what Obanani is. What is that? I've never heard of that. So Phoenix says the way the church defines which, or how we hear them define which they are. I don't think so. There's rumors of very dark things, but I'm not very concerned with them. Yeah, I'm not either. I don't know. I just don't see them. I see them more money hungry than anything else. Okay, Moth Mama, I'll check and see. When did they become not African? Th- they were never African. Who said they were African? I've never seen Kim. We talking about Kim Kardashian them? They've never been African. Moth Mama said they spicy white. MJ said, good point. I know Hugh Hefner was obsessed with her. He harassed her, stalked her, and paid to be buried next to her? I didn't know that. I didn't know he paid to be buried next to her. Gizmo, Honeybee said she love you. He mad at me because I fussed at him. He's sitting there mad because he can't go outside, and the dogs next door were barking, and he gonna go to the door like he hadn't just went outside before I started this live. Before I started this live, I had took him outside because I was like, I don't want no problems with you. So let's go outside. So he went outside, he was running around. Now it ain't my fault that the dogs next door wasn't outside when he was outside. And then when he come in the house and I get to talking and stuff, then the dogs next door start to barking. So he wants to go back outside. No, bro, you're not going back outside. You was just out there a minute ago. You're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of beaded necklaces, but I don't think they sell these at now they do sell these in stores, but they are normally botanicas. They are normally stores that sell items that pertain to some form of African tradition. Yeah, they have them. Botanica sell them because you can go into a botanica, and if the right person works there, they can give you a reading and tell you. Normally, people who run botanicas are in the religion some kind of way. Either they are running it for somebody else that is in the religion, or they themselves are. And normally, the person that either works there or, um, how can I put this? Either they work there or their madrina owns the place and they're not there and they make appointments for them. But normally somebody at that botanica can give you a reading, tell you who your Orisha is for the time being. Not who your head Orisha is, but which Orisha is coming forward for you right now. And they can wash Alekes for you, and you can, wear one or two until you either decide to um have a ceremony, or maybe that's all you want. Maybe all you want to do is find out who your Orisha is and wear a lekes for the color of that Orisha, and you're satisfied with that. But some people are not just satisfied with that. They want to go through the entire ceremony. Yeah, they are given at initiation, and the ones that are given during initiation are totally different than the ones that you would purchase from a botanica, because normally the ones that are given to you during your initiation are made by hand by somebody in your house, in the house that you are joining. So either your godmother made them, your Ibona, or one of your god brothers or sisters made the Elekes for you. My Elekes were made by my Ibona. She was the person in the house that I belonged to that did all of the jewelry work. So mine were made by her, which is special in itself because you actually know the person that made them. Like, the person that made them is there in the ceremony with you. Like, they hand them over. Like, you don't see them until they are presented to you during your ceremony. So I mean, that is in itself a special. When you buy them from a shop, you don't know who made them. You have no idea where they came from, and you're trusting the person that you're purchasing them from to pray over them correctly. Like, you go into a shop, you don't know these people, you don't know what they're doing, but you have put your trust in someone to pray over these beads and you know give them to you. That's why I say it's always best to purchase things like this from people that don't buy them online, because you don't know where they're coming from. You buy them online, they could be coming from China for all you know. It's best to find a botanica that, go in there a couple of times and, see what it's like. There is a lady on YouTube that owns a botanica. She has a YouTube channel. She does a lot of teachings. Yay, yay, yay. Uh, Something. I'll find it. But she does have a website. She does sell things. I think she's located in New York, though. For my New York people, if anybody is in New York or close to New York, I think this lady, her shop is in New York. But she does have a physical shop that you can go to. It looks like she does classes and teachings. You have to sign up, I think, on her website, but she does do um videos on YouTube. So, like, I would trust someone like her because I know she owns the Botanica. She does have items that she sells. It looks like she does readings, the whole nine yards. Now, her, I would be cool with going to her botanica and purchasing things, but if it's just some like random person, no. And I'm definitely not buying any spiritual items online from a place that I have no idea who these people are, or because it's people selling all kind of stuff online, all kind of stuff. And if you're not careful, if you just, want to jump into something that you have not researched enough, but you just want it so bad, because, one thing that I have noticed is that, we are in a period right now of people wanting something outside of traditional religion, outside of Christianity, outside of Catholicism. Like, people, especially Black people, we are looking to be more connected to our roots, and looking to be more connected can be hurtful to us because we can be trusting to people, especially, and I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. There are a lot of scamming Africans, okay? They see us Americans. They see us African Americans. They know that we want it. We want that connection to the motherland, and they know it. And instead of wanting to really be our brothers and sisters, they see us as cash cows. They think that every African American, every American has money. They think we all out here living lavish, and they want our money, and they will get you if you're not careful. So, don't think just because you met somebody African from Nigeria and they, telling you you got to be careful with them too. You have to be careful with them because they legit out here trying to get us. Now there are some good ones that, but you gotta weed through that, you know? They try to scam everybody. They try to scam everybody. So I get messaged all the time. I have every day I am blocking African people on my Instagram. At least two a week. And they see Oshun in my title on Instagram. And they message, "Hey, beautiful queen, just how you doing? I'm so and so. I'm a babalao. I'm a priest. I'm this. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care who you are, because it's nothing that, because I know where they're coming from. They're coming from a place of greed. They're not coming from a place of trying to be helpful and, trying to, no, they coming from a straight place of greed. They just trying to get what they can get, either get your money or get over here some kind of way to, no, you're not. I don't even, at this point, I don't entertain any African people. None. No men that inbox me and I go and look at their page and their block. I don't even give them an opportunity to get started. Block. I have blocked so many African people, and it's sad because we do want that connection and they know it. They have something that we want, but you're not going to get me. Because you don't have to go that way. There are other people that you can go through to get this. And then some of these people that are doing it the correct way can guide you to some legit people from Nigeria, Africa, whatever. There are people in this religion who do have connections to Nigeria, because there are people here who go to Nigeria to have their ceremonies done, because unfortunately it is cheaper to go to Nigeria and have a whole ceremony and then come back here. Now you're gonna have to pay for that flight. But once you get there, you're not going to have to pay as much there to have a whole ceremony done as you would here in the States. Yeah, it's just hard to find people, and it just puts you in a position where you don't trust them. You don't trust any of the Nigerian people. Like, I don't talk to any of them. It's nothing. If somebody that I know don't know you, I'm not talking to you. because I've just seen too many. And and on my Facebook business page, they had went on my Facebook business page and was stealing my pictures, like pictures of my mojo bags and other stuff that I had posted on Facebook, and stole my pictures and was using my stuff as saying that it came from one of their priests, and it was just crazy. Like, I had to block people on Facebook. It was like, y'all just shisty. I mean, coming literally on my Facebook page, business page, saying that my pictures was their stuff, was them. That was one of the reasons why I had stopped using that page for a while, because it was so many African people coming on there stealing my stuff that I had just got irritated. And I finally just went back to the page, cleared the page up, like blocked a lot of people, just was like deleting people. But now I'm trying to build that page up again. But it was like, that left a very sour taste in my mouth for African people. It really did. But I've seen it so much that I already know that you just have to be careful with them. And that's just like the downside of this religion. Because then a lot of people are saying, like, if I can't even trust them to do that, why would I even want to, be in a religion with them? Like, why would I go to Nigeria to get a ceremony if I can't even trust these people here in the States? Like, I would be legit scared though. I would never do it by myself. Like, me and my husband was talking about this at one point some years ago, and he was like, you would never go by yourself. If you are to do that, I'm going with you. He would have to be there, because there are things that you have to do. Parts of these ceremonies, you are getting naked, you know what I mean, around strangers. You just, no, you just have to be careful. You really do. You have to be careful with these people. You have to be careful wanting to practice this. It's not a cheap religion, and just be careful. Just don't jump into something wanting to do it so bad that you're not careful. That's my thing. Because I have seen so many people. I've had so many people message me. I've had so many people send me pictures of things that they have purchased on the internet that was trash. Just legit trash. And they had lost thousands of dollars. Like, sending people all of this money, people thinking that they had received a legua, and when they opened it up, it was just like cotton, nothing else, just trash. One woman had paid $2,000 for what she thought was an Alegua, and when she showed me the picture of it, I knew it was trash. Trash. And she had spent over $2,000. So you just have to be careful. Don't want it so bad that someone can take advantage of you. Because they will. They will tell you that you got a demon on you, and it's gonna cost $1,000 for them to get it off you. And there's people out here that will legit believe that. Like, legit believe it. So you got to be careful what you get into. You got to be careful who who you trust. If you don't know somebody, don't trust them. Don't trust them. I don't even want people to trust me like that. Get to know me first. Talk to other people that I have, done things for. Don't just, oh, yeah, I'm just going to give her $1,000. You don't even know me. Get to know me. You know what I mean? Before you just so willing to, oh, well, I like the way she sounds. Yeah, I like the way a lot of people sound, but I'm not going to give you $1,000. There's a lot of people out here that sound good, but I'm not going to give you my money. I'm not. Because 9 times out of 10, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. It is. It's too good to be true. If these people can't tell you like what house they belong to, do they have other god kids? You can't talk to none of their other god kids. No, then they ain't nobody. Phoenix said the fake babalaos and the fake travel agents do it for me. Too many in some traveling groups I'm in looking for victims. Many aren't on many aren't on that foolishness. But yes, if they in, I'm gonna tell you this too. It is very few Orisha groups where people are legit babalaos and stuff. Most babalaos, you're not gonna find them in a Facebook group. They're just not doing that. They're not on Facebook like that. They not making TikToks. If you see somebody on TikTok doing all kind of stuff, saying they doing EFA and stuff, it's a red flag for me. Because most of them are not doing that kind of stuff because they know that the majority of stuff in this religion is not even supposed to be photographed. I see a lot of younger people, like this is one young man that I follow on Instagram, and I think he does TikTok too. He does a lot of stuff. Now, he just recently went through his first ceremony. I think he just got his eleke, so I know he's not a priest. He's an aleo like me. He just got his elekes. And honey, he be on Instagram. I think he be on TikTok too. But he be on Instagram every day. Like he got a serious grind on Instagram. I think he does like card readings and stuff. But that's his hustle. That's his money. He young. He like in his 20s or whatever. But you're not going to catch an Oba or a Babalao or a priest really on Instagram doing readings and stuff. You're not. I haven't seen one. And I'm not saying that, I'm completely all on, but I don't see people like that. Not legit people. Not legit. Yeah, arguing with people and acting crazy. Yeah, right. Luke Williamson, you're not likely to find old world on new tech. They just don't do it. They're not. They're not gonna do it. For one, they don't feel like this stuff is supposed to be, videos and all of this kind of stuff. They don't do it. I've seen some ceremonial videos too, but the majority of people that I know do not believe in that. They don't even believe in taking pictures at ceremonies and stuff. But I have seen some ceremonial videos. I have. I've seen some African people have posted some very graphic videos on Instagram that claim to be babalaos and stuff. So there are some people who post stuff, but I'm saying it's rare. And the people that probably do that kind of stuff are like these new age practicers, like white people who are like, oh my god, this religion should be vegan, they shouldn't be doing anything to animals, and you know all this kind of stuff. Voodoo documentaries, that's different. I'm not talking about documentaries. I'm talking about just regular videos that, like, say, a person like myself would post to a Instagram or a YouTube channel. I feel like documentaries are different. And even in documentaries, you're only going to see so much. It's edited to, you know, show a certain thing. And that's for educational purposes. That's not just a random person um posting a video on their Instagram or um TikTok. So I always see documentaries as different. Girl, they out here sacrificing tofu because they feel like animals should not be used in ceremony. So there are some houses now, even though the sacrifice of animals did go to the Supreme Court in Santeria in Voodoo, you can't do that legally here in the United States. But yeah, girl, they like animals shouldn't be used and this religion should be vegan. So there is, some houses still having turmoil with that, even though animal sacrifice is in the Bible. So it's not like this was made up. They were doing that during biblical days also. Hey Yvonne, but if that's what you feel more comfortable doing, you don't feel comfortable using animals, then go to the house where the people um don't feel comfortable using animals. But if you feel comfortable using animals, then you go to a traditional house where they are still doing that. Yeah. Well, some people, I think even after Christ, there was still animal sacrifices, but the whole thing was Christ came to be the sacrificial lamb so that people wouldn't have to continue to do that. But in religion, people still did it, because a lot of people still didn't understand in the beginning that Christ was the lamb. They still, even after his death, they still didn't quite understand what it was. So they were still using animals until the church was founded. And that was after the death of Christ. So it took a while for them to stop using um, animals. And that's only in Christianity. Other religions continue to do what they were doing, they still believed in that. I just don't understand getting into African religion as a person of no color if you're just going to try and change the way things have already right. I don't understand getting into African religion as a person of no color, period. I just don't get it. I don't and I no matter how much I try to understand, but I just don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand why white people or people that are not descendants of Africans want to practice something that their ancestors hated. If you have no connection to something, that's like, me going into a honky tonk bar in the backwoods of Georgia or somewhere and wanting them to accept me as their own. I don't know anything about honky tonk. I don't have no connection to that. We honor our ancestors in this tradition. White people, your ancestors hated us. Your ancestors enslaved us, enslaved my ancestors. So, how do you, with a group of other descendants of Africans, sing songs and dance to the Orisha that your people hated? I just don't understand it. And I won't. I mean, and I have been in houses that had white people, and I have accepted them as my brother and sister. But in the back of my mind, I was still like, why are you here? Why are you here? Especially if you're not mixed. You know what I mean? I can see if you are mixed, like you got a white mama and a black daddy, or white daddy, black mama, there is some African flowing through your veins. You mixed, but you whole Caucasian. How do you then pray to a God that your ancestors was beating the bejesus out of us, out of our ancestors to make us stop believing? Changed our names and everything. And here you are wanting to take on the names of African people. I don't understand that. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I don't understand it because we have no real culture. You have a culture. You have a culture, Caucasian culture. Y'all have culture. Caucasian people have culture. You have the what is it? The Nordics, the y'all was witches and all that. That's your culture. Y'all have culture. White people have culture. But you just, yeah, you have colonization culture. That's your culture. Your culture is not African. And I don't care how many ceremonies you go through, how many elekes they put on you, how many baths you have, you still not gonna be, you're not. You still white. You're still white. Because I have seen and y'all probably about to get mad at me, but y'all done been mad at me before and you still come back. But listen to this. I have, been to ceremonies and I have watched white people dance. The way you move and the way we move when it comes to the drums and the it's just different. It's different. They say a lot of things are just coded in our DNA. It is. On a soul level, there's a connection. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe that you have that. I don't. I believe you have something else. I just believe that your soul is connected to something else on a soul level, written into our DNA is something different. And I'm going to leave this earth believing that. I feel like we're all connected through Christ, though. I most feel that to my core. I know everyone doesn't feel that connection, but I honestly do. Then that's your belief. That's your belief. She said, I'm black and I'm still offbeat. I'm offbeat too. I'm the black person in my family that can't dance. But that dance is different. Dancing, club dancing, and learning routines like the TikTok dances and stuff, I can't pick that shit up to save my life. That's totally different from the the movement and the hearing of the drums and the way that your spirit will react to Orisha dancing. It's totally different. A million times different. You may never pick up a TikTok dance and a 8 count or whatever, but see there's no 8 count in the movement of the Orisha. It's just different. Moth Mama said, I think we need to connect to whatever ancestry we had from Europe, like Ireland, Poland, whatever. My ancestors shared a lot of that coming to America. I do too. I do too. I mean, I have never said that Caucasian people have no culture. They have a culture. They have a culture. I just, I will always wonder why, after everything that has happened, Caucasian people now want to practice voodoo and Ifa and everything else after, you know, everything that our ancestors went through, everything that, your ancestors put us through. Why then would you now want to, you know, practice the same religion that goes all the way back to Africa? That's what I don't understand. But it does happen. It does happen. They get into these houses. I guess they have a reading. And I'm not saying that every white person is accepted by the Orisha, because they're not. That too. When they come in, they still have to have a reading just like we do. And I'm pretty sure there are times when the Orisha will say no, not you. And if you are accepted, then I feel like you are accepted for a reason. And that reason will be given to you in your reading. And then you will probably have to go through some major cleansings. You will have to do some of the things that your ancestors didn't do. You will, because you're the one that wants it. You're going to have to go through some of these cleansings and shed off a lot of the stuff that your ancestors didn't do, because it's going to come back to you. It's going to come up in the reading and everything. The Greek, Roman gods stolen but still, but there's so much of their pantheons inside of the US and probably overall Euro culture. Yeah, there is a lot in European culture. It's a lot. So it's not like you don't have a culture at all. Y'all got culture, you know. I think that this reparations is just not enough, because you will never be able to pay for what my ancestors been through. You can't pay for that. There is not enough reparation. Yeah, it's good, but you can't pay for the pain and suffering that our ancestors went through. You can't pay for that. You can't pay for the fact that my mother had her baby in a cotton field with no medical help and her baby passed away. You can't pay for how can you pay for that? How can you pay for that pain and trauma? The fact that after having that baby, my mother was never able to have another child. She adopted me. She was born in 1917. Okay, she was not a slave, but she lived on a plantation where they worked. Her father worked this plantation and they were able to live there so that, he was a sharecropper. So she got pregnant in her early 20s, had a baby, was working in the cotton field. That baby was born in the cotton field. The baby passed away. My mother did not receive any medical attention after that because they didn't go to the doctors like that. The midwives took care of her. So, come to find out some years later that I guess she had developed endometriosis or something that she, really even didn't understand. But anyway, whatever it was, it kept her from never having children again. And she didn't have a hysterectomy. No, she didn't have a hysterectomy because she did go through menopause at the correct age, but she was never able to have another child. How can you pay for that? How can you pay for her pain and suffering? You can't. You can't pay for that. And that's just years of trauma. You can't you there's not enough money in the world to pay for that. So reparations would be great, but you can't put a price on black people's trauma. The trauma is too great. And it just, a lot of the stuff that we go through is just trauma based. Men, the way black men treat black women, the way black men treat white women, all of that shit is trauma based. And you can't put, a dollar amount on that. No, I agree it's not enough, but we have to start some level of atonement for the damage we've caused. Otherwise, the curse of racism continues. There will always be racism. Always. That's something that is never going to go away because we're always going to be different. Black people and white people will, even now that, the cultures are mixing more, there are more mixed children than ever before. Because can you imagine when I went to elementary school, this was, so I was born in 64. So I started school in, I think, 68, 69, something like that. So it was still the 60s, early 70s. Elementary school, there was only one mixed kid in my school. Her mom was white and her father was black. One mixed child in my school. Fast forward to by the time my kids got to elementary school, there were so many other ethnicities of children going to school with them. There was only one other completely white kid, and his sisters and brothers going to my school. And I think there was like one Hispanic kid at my elementary school. Now, fast forward to my grandchildren, my granddaughter, who is mixed. The majority of her friends are mixed. The majority of the kids who it's 50-50, black, Asian, Hispanic, mixed. It is, the culture has changed. The culture has changed. I've heard people say reparations is about principle. The US wasn't established on principle at yeah, the US definitely wasn't established on principle. Don't care about principle, especially when it comes to black people. They like that's that's on you, boo boo. Oh, y'all feelings hurt? Oh, too bad. Oh, y'all got y'all feelings hurt again? Oh, who cares? That's basically how they feel. I want to show y'all this. So this is grandchild number. How many do I have? Let's see. This is number 7. This number 7. See, I only a couple of weeks old. I think she 3 weeks old now. So we the we're changing. There are more mixed people now. My grandkids, the majority of them, this is the only grandchild. Is she the only one? Yeah. She is the only grandchild I have. She is number 7. She is the only one I have that has a black mother and a black father. All of my other grandkids are either Caucasian and black or Filipino and black. She is my only completely black grandchild. So your families is changing because people are mixing together more now than they ever have in the past. And you hope that with all of this blending of cultures and blending of people, that racism will kind of die down. Like you think that a lot of the people that were keeping up a lot of this racism and just a lot of them are old and dying. So you kind of hope when they kind of die out, a lot of that mentality will die out with them. And then we will have a generation of, people who look at each other differently. But I think it's going to take a while for that to happen because it's people like myself who still alive and who are still carrying trauma and hurt and pain, and we still looking at white people with a side eye because we've been hurt. And the fact that a lot of people, don't even want to acknowledge our pain. You just figure you should be able to forget that happened. This no, you can't. You can't forget that happened. Like when sometimes when I talk to my in-laws who tell me about, working the farm and how they used to live and how they used to work and stuff, that shit hurts me. For little of no or no money, like doing hella work and stuff and not getting paid for it. No, I'm not gonna forget that shit. I'm not gonna forget it. So y'all probably gonna have to wait till all of us go to glory before things change. But I'm telling my grandkids the real stories because I want them to understand what really took place, like what their ancestors really had to go through. Because if you really think about it, like I barely miss the black and white water fountains and segregation and all of that kind of stuff. I barely miss that shit. I was born in 64. So, yeah, some of us think different. Do you think biracial black people can be considered black, or is biracial its own race? I think biracial is its own race. I mean, they consider themselves black. Like my granddaughter, she is 13 and what does she call herself? Blasian, because she is black and Asian, but she considers herself black. Like she want people to know that she's black because she is in middle school now. And she said people do ask her, what is she mixed with? And she was like, I'm black. And she was like, one boy was like, you're black? And she was like, yes. So, yeah, I mean, I really think that biracial is a thing. And then there is, you know, biracial black and white, and then biracial black and Asian because they consider themselves different, Blasian. So yeah, it's just so many different races, I guess. And I'm pretty sure eventually that will probably, you'll be able to check the box Blasian or black and white or, whatever, biracial. How are you biracial? You know what I mean? Like, I think all of the races are eventually going to have a box to check. Black and Asian, or, you know, biracial, non-Asian, or something. I think eventually it will, that will be a box for people to check. But the world is changing. I do believe that, you know, things are changing. It's just going to take some time. It's just going to take some time to change. We still got a lot of racist people that got to go to glory. They ain't went to glory yet. They still here, waving their Confederate flags. They're still alive, teaching their children how to be like them. So it's gonna be a while before, things change. But that's it. But I love you guys. I love my white subscribers. And there are always going to be hard conversations here, but don't leave here thinking that I hate you. But I have to be honest when we talk about these subjects. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. But it ain't you, because I don't know you. It's not you, it's your ancestors that I got a problem. It's not you. Me and you cool. It's your ancestors I got a problem with. Okay? Because they caused my ancestors a lot of hurt and pain and trauma. And some of that trauma was, given to me because who wants to hear stories from their parents or grandparents how they were hurt and how they were discriminated against and how they couldn't find housing? My mother talking about how they drove from Florida to California and not having a place to stay, and having to look at a book to see what hotels they could rent just because they were black, and having to move through certain states because certain states were sundown states and they can't be caught there after dark because they were black. My parents told me these stories. So, yeah, like I'm I got trauma. So, I love y'all. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. But yeah, there are things that have happened to my family that is real. Like, I'm almost 60 years old, so some of that shit that happened in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s affected my family. And these are stories that I have heard from my family who is from the South. We are implants to California. I'm only the first generation born here in California. First generation of people born here in my family in California. We are implants to California. My family is from the South. I was the first born here. I was the first grandchild born and raised here in California. I've been here all my life. My family was not, they're not from here. They're from the South. They came here for jobs and stuff, just like a lot of your family left the South and went to other places for jobs, left Louisiana or wherever rural areas, they left there and went to other places for jobs. That's how a lot of your families came to Chicago and bigger cities because they went there for jobs. Detroit, because Detroit used to be big back in the day for cars and, you know, warehouse work and all kind of stuff like that. It was huge. Your family, the majority of us, our families moved around when they heard that it was work. And my family just happened to come to California because my father worked on the Southern Pacific Railroad. The railroad was big. And there was a lot of job opportunities for Black people in the 60s and the 50s. So that's how we got here to California. Or I would have been in probably Bastrop or Monroe, Louisiana. That's where my people are from. Oh, I'm a year older than you? Yeah, I'll be 58 in August. Phoenix said, I am 10 years younger than your mom was. Yeah, I'll be 58 in August. So, yeah, my mother, told me a lot of stories. And there are pictures of the way my family lived in Louisiana. Um, my photo albums are in storage, but I would love to show you some of the pictures of how my family lived. I mean, it's like straight out of a damn slave documentary. Seriously, the houses that they lived in back then looked like something where like my mom told me what it was like growing up on that like plantation back in the day. Like they were basically slaves. They slept on the floor on a mat that they basically had like stuffed with cotton themselves because they picked cotton. They were sharecroppers. So they didn't sleep on no like, fancy bed and have fancy clothes and shoes and all of that kind of stuff. We talking newspaper shoved in the bottom of their shoes because their shoes had holes in them and they had to walk a mile or so to school carrying like a little bucket with a piece of meat and a piece of bread, and that was gonna last them all day. Yeah, they went through a lot. Yeah, they went through a lot in those times. So she was born in 1917. I can imagine, they didn't have electricity and stuff. They had, a wood burning stove and gas lamps. Like, I can't even imagine. They made candles and they made things work though. They sold, they cooked, they didn't have no McDonald's. I was I was talking to a friend of mine, like we were on FaceTime, and I was like, damn, I'm hungry. I want some Taco Bell. And she was like, you gonna go get it? I was like, hell no, girl, that's what DoorDash is for. They didn't have no DoorDash. Their DoorDash was going outside picking the potatoes or watermelon or whatever they wanted. They had to make do with what they grew. She said they rarely went to the store. Very rare did they go to the store. And when they did, it was for like flour and sugar and stuff like that. But she said it wasn't that often. That was a treat. They cooked what they grew. They had chickens and pigs and cows and goats and stuff. They ate that meat. She said her father had like in the barn they smoked meat and prepared meat for the winter and stuff like that. So what they needed, it wasn't no McDonald's. They didn't have a car. If they wanted to go somewhere, they had to get on that horse and ride there. So we got it made. If I want something, I get my phone, Instacart, DoorDash. Like I had the audacity to be mad because Starbucks is not on DoorDash or anything, but Starbucks is on Uber Eats now. I was like, I'm not going to add Uber Eats to my apps because I got enough going on. And Starbucks is really right up the street. Starbucks is right up the street, and so is Pete's. They're just in opposite directions. They're not even that far. Like I can legit drive there. It's not like outside of my driving range because some places are, but Starbucks and Pete's is not. I can go there. Oh, I love old photographs, old towns and stuff. Like I love those type of places. I love visiting stores that have like an old fashioned feel and stuff to them. I love all those type of places. Girl, I will DoorDash some food in a minute. Okay? But I'm trying not to do that. I love African food. I love Ethiopian food. But lately, it has been messing with my acid reflux. I think it's just too spicy for me. So I don't eat it that often, but I loved it. But it's a lot of stuff because I have IBS and I have irritable bowel and um GERD that I really have. And the older I get, the worse it gets. So I really do have to be careful about like really spicy foods, fried foods, all that kind of stuff because it just don't sit well um with me like it used to. But I love Ethiopian food. I love it, but it just don't love me. I love going to like antique stores and I love all that kind of stuff like old towns and stuff because here in California they do have a lot of little places like that that you can go to that has like antique fields and stuff and you know historical play. I love that kind of stuff. And I am going to start posting some of those things on my channel because where we live now, I think has like there are a lot of little places around here that are like historical uh landmarks and stuff. But it's a lot of places in California that have a lot of rich history. Now I'm not doing no parasite cleanse because I don't have parasites. I've already had um I've had the camera endoscopy, and I don't have parasites. Everybody don't have parasites in their body. That's one thing y'all need to understand. That don't get caught up in all of these cleanses and stuff because everybody don't have parasites. I don't have any parasites. I've had a endoscopy done and a colonoscopy. It's not related to parasites. Is related to the fact that I have what is called psoriatic arthritis, and the lining of my stomach gets irritated and swells. So the lining of my stomach, because of arthritis in an autoimmune, I have autoimmune disorder. So the lining of my stomach gets inflamed, which triggers the IBS. It's not parasitic or anything like that. And a lot of, some of y'all get caught up in all of these trendy things, doing all of these things. You don't know what's wrong with you. And then you jump on a bandwagon. It's inflammation. Thank you, Moth Mama. It's not parasitic, it's inflammation. Inflammation is the biggest part of what's wrong with a lot of people. It don't have nothing to do with bugs or parasites or anything like that. It's inflammation. That's your problem. And a lot of people, you jump on these bandwagons. Oh, do this detox, do that, and that's not even what's wrong with you. You don't even have that issue. So find out, before you do all these cleanses and detox and all of this kind of stuff, is that your problem? Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't, and you just doing it for nothing because nothing's going to happen. And nothing's going to happen to me from any type of cleanse because your body does not get, you're not going to heal a autoimmune disease from a cleanse. It's just not that simple. If it was, everybody would be healthy. A lot of this shit, contaminants and stuff, is not only in our food, we're constantly intaking it into our body. It's in our water, it's in the water system, it's in the air we breathe. We're contaminated. We're contaminated. And we can't fix that. And it's just getting worse and worse because the world is more and more people. They're trying to get this food out faster to people. Food is being processed in ways that it was never processed before. Our ancestors did not deal with all of these antibiotics and steroids and all of this stuff that they're treating food with now because they grew the food naturally. They killed their own chickens. They ate them the same day. They didn't have refrigerators and freezers where meat has been frozen for weeks before it even makes it to your grocery store. That cow has been dead. We don't know how long before they grind it up to make that hamburger meat for you. So it's been treated to make it stay red. It's been, all of this preservatives and all of this stuff. That's the shit that's making us sick. We cannot detox that from our bodies. So our bodies acts out in inflammation and IBS and thyroid and this and that and cancer and everything else because our bodies can't kick off all of the stuff that they put in our food and water, which is unfortunate. But we can't do anything about that. We just have to, when you find out that like I know certain things trigger my IBS, then I have to stay away from those things. I know that, really spicy foods and really rich foods, if I eat too much fried food, I know I'll have a problem. So I stay away from those things. And that's what you have to do. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a position where you can raise your own beef and, not buy meat that is like processed and stuff, then you're in a better position than most people. Because if you're buying meat from the grocery store, you don't know where that meat came from. You don't know how long that cow has been dead. And I have watched some of those documentaries. There are a lot of them. Uh, watch some of those vegan documentaries about how meat is processed, how there's one about how chickens are processed, and then I think there's another one about beef, like a cow from birth to the slaughterhouse, what it goes through during the slaughtering process, how hamburger meat makes it to the grocery store, how when you buy hamburger meat it may be 5 or 6 different cows ground up. Like you're not just getting one cow. You may get 5 or 6 different, just all that meat thrown up in there together, child. You don't know what you get. And that's what we are consuming, unfortunately. So if you know something bothers you, then do like I do. Just don't eat that, you know. Or if you're gonna eat it in, small doses, or just don't eat it that often. Like I may have African food maybe once a year. That's a treat for me. But I know if I eat it, I'm definitely going to have to take some medicine to settle my stomach. But there are a lot of people who want to treat themselves, but I have had a major workup on my stomach, like a stomach biopsy and all, cameras down the throat, up the butt, the whole 9 yards to um, figure out what was going on. I'm not one of those people that will just do home remedies or see something on the internet and well, I'm not that person. I'm gonna go to the doctor and you gonna run some tests on me and find out what's going on, and then we can go from there. Then I will change my diet and eat more vegetables and drink more water because I'm on that kick, drinking more water and trying not to drink sodas, even though the only soda that I really like is Sprite and Mountain Dew. I'm really trying to break up with Mountain Dew because I know Mountain Dew is one of the worst sodas you can drink. I am trying to drink more water and eat more fruits and vegetables. Poke root is good for inflammation. My grandma used it to cure her breast cancer. I don't know what poke root is. And I'm more than likely not even gonna try to find out. Like if it's something I ain't never heard of before, I'm legit not probably not gonna try it. I mean, I'm just careful with um my diet. I try to keep my diet real simple. Um I don't eat a lot of meat. I don't fry a lot of food and stuff. I keep it simple. I know what bothers me, so I stay away from it. All right, y'all. I haven't even had dinner yet, and I hear my mother-in-law about to wash the dishes. So I'm about to go in there and eat dinner before she put the food away. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Did we talk about it? We did talk about Kim, huh? Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about uh Dave Chappelle getting hit at his stand-up show yesterday. So I guess a crazy fan ran up on the stage at the Dave Chappelle show and they beat the brakes off of him. I mean, beat his ass. Do you hear me? I mean, they stumped him. I'm pretty sure they beat the brakes off of him. I'm pretty sure he did not expect that to happen. I know he probably was like, why would you think that it would be okay for you to jump up at Dave Chappelle? Like, he had to be mentally ill. And they said he had a gun and a knife. So he went there to do some damage. He went there to hurt him. But Tane, when security got finished with him, I mean his eye is closed, his nose is swollen, and they said it looks like his arm is broken. But to me, it looks like it's handcuffed to the bed. And it looked like they handcuffed him backwards or something. I don't know. Because I don't think if his arm was broken, they would have handcuffed him like that. But it do look like his shoulder is dislocated. It look crazy. Because his arm is back like this. She said poke is a weed. The leaves taste good if cooked right. Is it a tea? Can you make it like a tea? So, honey, he got the brakes beat off of him. It looked like his head is lumped up. Looked like he got a lump right here. The eye, his nose. Yeah, his head looked swollen. But they said they was kicking him, stomping him, and everything. But maybe that will keep other people from doing that. I'm not gonna blame this on Will because I think Will didn't had enough. I'm not gonna blame this on him because this is a grown man. He made a conscious decision to do that. I'm not gonna blame that on Will. He did that. And he suffered the consequences for it. Oh, you cook it like mustard greens? Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Boss mama said she Googling it and it says it's toxic. See, y'all I don't know, child. But you ain't gotta worry about me, girl, because I ain't never heard of it and I'm definitely not gonna try it. Let me see. No, because it says it's recipes. They have recipes. Cause somebody sell it on Etsy. Poke root tinctures. Wait a minute, girl. Oh, it say pokeweed can cause nausea, vomiting, cramping, stomach pain, diarrhea, low blood pressure, difficulty controlling urination, and thirst, and other serious side effects when applied to the skin. Pokeweed is likely unsafe. But it says, nevertheless, pokeweed has been used for achy muscles and joints, for rheumatism, swelling of the nose, throat, chest, tonsillitis, hoarse throat, laryngitis, swelling of lymph glands, swollen and tender breasts, mastitis, mumps, skin infections, including scabies, TNA, never heard of that, ringworm, and acne. So look like it's got some good effects, and it look like it's got some bad effects too. Yeah, I'm not gonna try that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one to y'all because that's kind of scary. But this what it looked like. That's the tree. That's what they look like. I don't remember seeing that. Seeing anything that look like that. Oh, it says it's native to wet or sandy areas of eastern North America. Hmm, that's interesting. She said you can get it in a drop in a tea, but poke root is what I've used. A lot of mountain people always ate it back in the day. The berries are toxic. Ooh, it is toxic. You only want to eat the young leaves. Well, how am I supposed to know which leaves is the young ones and which ones is the old? See, you have to see this one of those things that you have to this one of those things that you have to be experienced. It have to be like a elder in your family that know which part you supposed to eat and which part you not. That's why I leave shit like that alone because I don't know nothing about that. The stalk is reddish in color, purple berries and green leaves. My grandma used the root to make patches to draw the tumor out of her breast. Yeah, it did say it was good for mastitis and stuff. I'm gonna leave that one with y'all. Y'all go on with that poke. Y'all can have that because I'm a California girl. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that one. Y'all got me on that one. I don't know nothing about no poke weed. Okay, so y'all pray for that young man because I'm pretty sure he's in jail, lumped up. I know he in jail hurting. He probably like, God, they beat my ass. I'm finna go get me something to eat and take Gizmo. Gizmo looking at me like, eat? I'm pretty sure you got food in your dish. Go eat your food. Go eat your food, Poochie. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. And I will see. Oh, y'all, we didn't start exercising. So I'm gonna be doing some videos, uh, exercising. Me and my husband back on our healthy kick. So I might do some more videos um with some with my little exercise routine. It ain't gonna be much, child, because you know I ain't gonna be out there huffing and puffing and stuff. I ain't doing all that shit. I'm too old for that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Thank you for keeping me company. I will see you later. Bye. Thank y'all for real.